全て捨てずにこれほどまでの力を得るとはな。よくぞトップを倒した。褒めてやる。いいものを見せてやろう。
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Senzu, and today we're going to be talking about my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super episode 129, titled Limits Super Surpassed, Ultra Instinct Mastered. The two characters we're going to be focusing on today's My Thoughts episode review, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be focusing on Jiren and Goku. So as you know, these two characters are the remaining fighters for their universes. They're fighting for the sole survival of everything that they care about or want. So Goku's defending Universe 7, Jiren is defending Universe 11. They are the final two fighters on the field, and this is what everything has amounted to here in episode 129. So the battle begins, and honestly, my opinion of it, kind of lame. And the reason why I say that is a majority of the scenes in this episode were all reuses. One, for example, was the intro scene. They were reusing the intro scene for the second time in the battle. No, not the second, the third time between these guys. And you know, that's when in the intro scene, Jiren's kind of on the left side and Goku's in the front. He's going in with the attacks. They reused the entire intro scene of these two up to the blast. But they wanted they reused the fighting part a few times, and then they actually used the part where they shoot the blast at each other as well. The only difference was, though, Goku had his eyes closed. So and I think that's what irritates me more, guys, is if you're gonna reuse a scene, let's make some more noticeable differences. Let's make it, oh well, last time we engaged in these two techniques, this is how it went, this was how I blocked your fist. You're doing the same technique again. Like, I saw you do it before, I memorized your movements with it, and that's why I'm blocking it. Not let's just straight up copy and paste. But this is very common in these types of shows, so this is not unheard of, and this is a very normal thing. But what I didn't like is just seeing it used so many times in the same episode, and then when you do notice them, where they did try to change it, the changes weren't that much. Like a line through your eye to show that your eyes are closed opposed to them being open. Another thing, Goku was in the Ultra Instinct part when he did the blast that he does in the intro towards Jiren's blast in the intro. So let's get past that. They reused another scene where Goku had the Kamehameha and he was charging it as he leapt across the flying debris on the stage. He tried to blast Jiren with it, but ultimately Jiren remembered him doing this to Kefla, and that's how he was able to block it so effortlessly. With one ki blast in his hand, he was able to shoot an immense amount of power to push Goku back, and that was the end of that. Now, they do introduce, in the second half of the episode, they introduce a new looping animation phase where the characters are doing their attacks, and you know, they show it back and forth. But you know, that one was new, much more detailed, drawn much better. But let's jump back a little bit. On a lot of these reused stills, they looped them so many times that it took up a majority of the episode. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that, you know, when they do it, you can tell they're just doing it to buy time. But even with this new animation, they kept showing it over and over. I think they did it, what, a total of 4 instances? I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the episode. But, you know, they did that. As far as characters and developments here, what did we get? Well, we got nothing really. We got a new form, and we managed to see a new hurt animation on Jiren. So that's all that we got there. No real verbal conversation between the two fighters. It's just all out action, baby, in this episode. So that's what we got. My favorite moments from this episode would be 2 in particular, and believe it or not, none of it had to do with the fighting. My favorite looping animation, of course, was when they introduced on the second half Goku and Jiren's new looping animation. But my favorite 2 parts of this episode was the first one, where you have Vegeta talking to Ramat about, you know, hey, us Saiyans have, because he was trying to downplay Goku's form, calling it an incomplete Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta pretty much hit him with the, you're really going to say that when in the matter of minutes this tournament has been going on, us Saiyans have surpassed our limits several times. Several times have we surpassed through our limits to push ourselves further than we've ever gone before. So before you sit there and say it's incomplete, what's to say that he's not going to make another breakthrough as he's done before? And that shut him up. So I really like seeing Vegeta have Goku's back. It's different when you have Vegeta doing it, and he's doing it in a positive light instead of saying something like, I'm jealous that, Kakarot is the one that's fighting the foe here. It's not about that anymore. He's truly on, let's sit back and let's enjoy this battle so we can, observe it as warriors, but also let's watch and see what happens before we make any prejudgments. So I dug that. My second part was there's a particular scene where Goku is being pushed back, and he's pretty much near the out of bounds part of the arena, and Jiren is above him, firing a flurry of fists at Goku. And so they do this thing to emulate the sheer speed of these two warriors fighting, and it looks as if there's a barrier above Goku, but it's not actually a barrier. What they're trying to communicate here is that Goku and Jiren are fighting so fast. That's merely where the defense of their battle is stopping, and their core bodies themselves are not being hit. So I felt that I understood the approach that they were doing here, and I understood it very well. While this is going on, everybody is saying, this is it, Goku's about to be out. And the tone got really serious when, it gets kind of quiet, and Beerus says, "You lot." And everybody's like, "What?" And they're all looking at him, and he says, "Just watch." And then from there, that's when everybody shuts up and they're looking at it, because Beerus has a respect for Goku, but not just a respect, but sometimes in life you gotta observe situations and see them out. All this panicking you're doing before the end result has actually happened is doing nothing but causing extra anxiety in your life, and it's causing extra stress. Sometimes, man, you gotta shut up. You just gotta watch what happens. You gotta wait it out. And so I was really digging that. And so let's put this in perspective for you guys to better understand. You as a god of destruction, you have your universe's best fighters all fighting against other universe's best fighters to ensure the survival of you and anybody you care about, and the lives of all these other people at stake on your universe. So this person is fighting for you. So Beerus has such a large respect for Goku now, and I think that's something that not a lot of people are noticing. Initially, Goku was nothing more than a mere appetizer on Beerus's life plate that he wanted to taste, simply to satisfy his boredom, simply to, entertain his dream about the original Super Saiyan God and all that good stuff. But now, he's watching this person fight, and ultimately his well-being and everybody else's is in their hands. You've seen it. You've seen when Beerus has complimented Vegeta. You've seen it when he's complimented Gohan. And, I personally, for one, each time he complimented one of the warriors on his team, I really respected that, and I liked it. It was a different approach for Beerus, and it just goes to show you that this situation is very dire. It's very severe to these warriors. So moving past that, after he tells everybody to be quiet, of course, the situation tide changes. Goku eventually breaks his way through Jiren's offense with his own offense, and once he switches to the offense, you see him land a blow through Jiren, and Jiren has a nice little moment, and then he tries to hit Goku, but he misses, and he misses because Goku now has tapped into, the full Ultra Instinct. So from here on, this is when the battle truly gets serious. This episode, though, was not one of my favorites. Too many reused scenes, not enough original scenes. We didn't get really any conversation between the two. At this point of this battle, I truly want deep, engaging conversations between Goku and Jiren. And I understand that this is Dragon Ball Super, and this is Dragon Ball in general, but you can't say that those moments don't happen. We were able to see 17 get under Jiren's skin, and whenever Vegeta fights, Vegeta is always talking his head off about what he believes in and how far he's come, and this is where he proves himself. So we get those conversations, and I want those conversations with Goku and Jiren. I need more of that, and we're probably going to get that on episode 130 when that airs. We're probably going to see more conversations between them. But this episode, the main people speaking and commentating on everything was the crowd. So, you know, we're going to have to see what happens on episode 130. If I'm to be honest with you guys, there's something missing from these episodes. I don't know if it's the rush pacing to get the show finished off, you know, so the other show can take its time slot. I don't know if it's knowing that the episode is going to end in 2 episodes, but there's just something that is no longer the same when I watch this. And I don't know if it's because right now it's the Goku show. I don't know. But there's just something that is no longer the same for me when I watch these episodes. I guess it's because you know the way that the tide is turning, that ultimately, if not taken by surprise in the way that things are going to pan out, Goku is going to win. And that is, you know, DBZ history 9 times out of 10. So if they hit us with a nice little change at the end, that's what's up, because you can definitely expect something to come again. If we get a cliffhanger ending, it will be extremely upsetting, but it will be very exciting, because it will allow your mind to continue to run and think of these new Dragon Ball continuations that we may for certain get. Now, of course, nothing has been guaranteed yet, but we do know there is a new movie on the way, and there are a few ways that this could go, guys. So you have to keep an open mind with this and just stay on the positive, and let's hope for something that truly does surprise us in the end, because I personally do not want the episode to end with the ending of Z. Now, if we get glimpses of that in some different way, sure, but I ultimately want something where you're like, wait a second, what? That's not what happened. Wait, that's not how this, what? What do you, whoa, where do we go from here? That's the type of ending I'm looking for happening. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna cut this episode short. I mean, I'm not cutting it short. It's already 11 minutes, and it's not an episode. It's a review. My apologies. And we're going to wait and see what happens in episode 130. I'm hoping something happens in these remaining episodes where I am truly shocked. Truly something that I did not see happening before happen. That's what I want. I got a few ideas of things that I want to talk about, of things that I would like to see come true. Call it fan fiction or whatever, but I will be putting out a few videos during the week in regards to what I want when this ends. So with that said, guys, this is Senzu. I hope you guys are having a great afternoon, and I hope you guys start your week off tomorrow on the most excellent foot that you can. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.
いいものを見せてやろう。